What's up, people? Afro Blade Master here for some more Pokemon Crystal. Last time, we started down this route after battling youngster Joey, solving a puzzle, and discovering the unknown. This time, we're going to continue down this route and try to make it to the next town. Spoiler, it might get a bit annoying. It's a good thing I got that, I found that repel earlier. That might actually come in handy. I'm just going to switch straight to Chikorita for this because it's a Wooper who, as I mentioned last time, is four times weak to grass. And I want Chikorita to be strong for the third gym. Like, I'm not worried about the second gym. Growlithe is just going to destroy that. I can tell you that right now. But I want to make sure Chikorita is good for the next gym. Not for the next gym, the third gym. Alright, this is the guy who's selling Slowpoke Tails for $1 million Poké. I believe there's the item hidden right here. Yep, Great Ball. I remember where a lot of these items are because I played this game with the strategy guide a ton when I was little. But yeah. The third gym is going to be a thing. It's definitely going to be a thing. Okay, I was trying to say something, but I forgot what it was, so I held my breath for a minute there. Still can't remember what it was. I don't think it was super important. Okay, I'm actually going to go up here and battle a bunch of trainers for experience for Wooper, specifically. There's this guy, which I think this guy also gives you a phone number. I think he's one of the guys who tells you about swarms when those happen. But all these dudes are fishers, so we should be good with our team as long as we don't send out Growlithe. Oh wow, this Goldine's level 10. Alright, let's go, Chikorita. Oh no, it's a flying move. Quick, Razor Leaf it. Good thing there's a Pokemon Center right below us. Okay, so I have no idea when we're going to actually encounter one, so I'm just going to tell you about it now. I never used a Goldeen, so I can't tell you how good it is. Like, I've always, whenever I had a chance to use one, by the time I could catch it, I already had my water type. Which admittedly was usually Vaporeon, which is my favorite Pokemon. That or my starter. Bite it! And it confused me. Yay, it still bit. Yay, Wooper grew to level 5. Who grew to level 8? Well, actually gave us a decent amount of experience. And Mom's calling. Okay, so she bought us an item and left it on our PC. Let's actually go check what that is. And I also need to heal, so you know, that helps because I don't want Chikorita to be out since everything we're gonna be fighting for next bit is water type. And the place we go to before we get to the next town is full of rock types, like rock and ground, so that'll be really useful. Okay, let's see what our mom bought us. A super potion! Yeah, let's see what items I have. I'm just gonna deposit that. Okay, so it's actually a good idea to deposit items, because in this one you have a hard limit to how many items you could have in your bag. It's kind of annoying, but you know it's a thing. Let's actually give this berry to someone. Let's give it to Wooper. Because depending on the level of these Pokemon, I am going to be trying to fight. Actually, we need to look at Wooper's stats. Let's see. It's a male. Which... Okay, this is Water Ground. Which, in this generation... Okay, only damage move it knows is Water Gun. I'm going to be switching it. But its stats are good. Its defense is pretty good. And it's... Like, it's kind of slow, but, you know, it's not bad. Like, okay, I could be wrong, but I believe that in this version, and only that, like, in this generation, and only this generation, I believe female Pokemon are slightly weaker. Like, not a real noticeable amount, but I think people have done like done stuff or looked at the data, and their overall stats are slightly lower. Like, as I said, not really much to make an appreciable difference, but you know, it's still definitely a thing. Hypnosis? You fuck. I don't have anything to heal sleep. Except for mashing! Okay, that's actually picking up on the waveform. I shouldn't be doing that. Oh well, at least it's doing like 1 damage per bubble. I think the max time you could be asleep is 10 turns in a row. And knowing how this stuff tends to go, it's going to be asleep for the entire 10 turns. Come on, wake up. Or you don't want to just switch, because all my other dudes are kind of weak comparatively. Like, they'll either take a ton of damage because they're such lower level, or they'll take a ton of damage because it's Growlithe who's a fire type. Critical! That makes up for it. Another Poliwag! Okay, good. If it used Hypnosis again, I was going to be annoyed. Not very effective. Level 12. Reflect. That's a move that might come in handy, but probably not. Like, that's super useful in like competitive. Basically, it throws up a barrier that either lowers physical or special damage received by your Pokemon. Okay, now this dude just has a bunch of Magikarp, so we're basically just safe to mash and let Wooper get all the pitiful experience. Because Magikarp give like no experience points comparative to other Pokemon. Yeah, that's also a thing. Different Pokemon give different amounts of experience. Like, I think the term is experience yield or something like that. Or EXP yield. I believe Magikarp is one of the lowest, while Chansey and Blissey are, while Blissey, the evolved form of Chansey, is literally the highest. Which is why in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire you would find trainers making Blissey bases for grinding. Which those are interesting. Basically what the Blissey bases do is they're just like it's either just like one trainer, the base owner, or they'll get other trainers who just have Blisseys in there. And the 3 Blisseys will be the max level they could be, which I believe is 50. They won't know any damaging or healing moves, because that's a thing. They could learn moves to heal them or other members of the party. Ooh, level 6! And they'd basically all be holding an item that toxics them, so they're guaranteed to be down in 10 turns. So it didn't matter if you could hurt them or not. I mean, if you could, that would greatly speed up the grinding, but like you could bring in a bunch of level 1 Pokemon and you could still win the battle with them, and it'd give you a ton of experience points. Which reminds me, I haven't played that in a while, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I think the last time I booted it up, I deleted my file and and it was like maybe a third of the way through a Nuzlocke. No, I missed the Pokemon radar thing they had. Like in that was a really cool idea. It made chaining Pokemon for shinies super easy. But it's one of those side features that Game Freak tries and never uses again. Okay, I'm debating on switching now because this is taking ages. Absolute ages, and we're like over halfway through the video. A crit! Yeah, I'm gonna switch. Let's switch to Hoot Hoot. Oh wow, this one actually knows Tackle. I just realized this level. Yeah, the only moves Magikarp can know are Splash, which does absolutely nothing, and Tackle, which is one of the weakest physical moves in the game. And normally, speaking of the move Splash, I remember back when I was a kid, back when the internet was pretty new and not every person in America had it in their pocket. In fact, most of us didn't even have it in our homes then. But anyway, before that, basically word on the playground was that and commercials and usually poorly written strategy guides were the most we could get for for information about games. So of course there was a billion rumors just spread around the playground from kids who just kind of wanted attention. They didn't know, they were just making it up. Or some kid made it up and then they heard it, so they were like, so then they reported it as fact because, we were 8 at the time. I remember hearing that, that Splash had a very, very small chance to basically, be a one-hit kill. I mean, of course, that's complete BS, but, it's just one of those things that you hear on the playground. I remember, you know what? I actually remember one thing. I talked to this guy to get a old rod, which is an item that only catches Magikarp. Yeah, this was before they just gave you a fishing rod. Just one. With this one, you get old, good, and super rods, which, of course, have various rarities of Pokemon attached to them. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. I remember one time when Gold and Crystal came out. I should probably heal. I was in 4th grade at the time. I remember at one point, like, I think we were doing, like, we were all in the classroom, but we weren't doing anything. I think it was essentially like a free period. But I remember one of the kids I was friends with at the time teaching me how to duplicate Pokemon. And I remember going up to my teacher and asking her if she could write it down as I explained it to her. And she did. She wrote it down on a note on like a little index card and gave it to me. I almost wanted to say floppy card, like a floppy disk, but no, that wasn't it. I remember her being like nice and doing that, but me not telling her, like not telling her the right way to do it. So of course, when I got home and tried to duplicate it, I couldn't get it to work. I think I did eventually figure it out again at a later point, but berry! I forgot I put that berry on him. But yeah, that was just one of those like fun little things. Ah, it was great. I brought it right back down. No, let's not. Unless this is a crit, you should be able to survive that. Yep. And I remember hearing like a bunch of rumors about games back then. I can't for the life of me remember them. I know with Mega Man X, my cousin was convinced that you could do a thing to save Zero so that Zero didn't die during the actual Vile fight, but that's not a thing. You know, speaking of like dumb playground rumors, I remember like 4 or 5 years ago when I was working at McDonald's, like my manager was convinced there was a way to keep Aerith or Eris dying in Final Fantasy VII, and it's like, and even listening to him then, I was like even though I've played it for like maybe a couple hours, like I knew it's like, yeah, that's not a thing. Like I didn't actually say that to him because like it didn't really click till later. Because I was like, while I was like listening to him, I was also working. Like, so like it didn't really like click. Sorry if the snap, if you can hear the snap. Yeah, it sounds really weird. Like it's barely showing up in the waveform, but I'm wearing like fingerless gloves right now. But like yeah, like it didn't like really click till later. But I was like, wait, no, that's a playground rumor. Like, how do you still believe that? Like, because like he's a big Final Fantasy buff. Like he even legitimately likes the Final Fantasy 13 series, which I've played like an hour of 13 and I just couldn't. Anyway, it's about time to cut the video off. I was hoping to actually be through this by now, but one, I'm still used to recording half an hour long videos, and two, I wasn't expecting that battle with that Magikarp dude to take so long, because I thought Wooper would do more damage, even though, like, you know, it's even though it's resistant to, even though the Magikarp is resistant to water. But yes, it's time to cut. So next time on Pokemon Crystal, we are going to continue through Union Cave and hopefully get out of it. All right. I shall see you guys later. This is Afro Blade Master logging off.